Anyway, let's get some more feedback in the chat, because I can't tell exactly how it looks from my point of view. Anyway, so let's take a look at the map. We've got a gold over here on the side. Two relics really close to Draxien's base. I think it's Dracant. I think I'm going to be calling him Dracant, but make sure to let me know. And we have another forward gold here. Looks like no golds in the back, though. So this gold doesn't look too vulnerable. I think it's not going to be a big problem for Dracant here. Gonna go with 4 on wood, that's the classic build, and a little bit forward stones. Usually don't see the Britons go for a castle, but you can see them go for longbows sometimes. I wouldn't expect it in this situation. Let's take a look at Jon Snow's map. He's got a relic inside his base as well. 2 relics close to them, so both players having 2 relics close to them. And his gold looks, it looks about in the same position that Dracant's looks in. It's a little bit to the side, a little bit exposed, but not completely exposed. We know Britons, they have great range on their archers. Maybe that'll come into play. Unlike Dracant's map, he does have a back stone and a back gold, so that's going to be good for him. And 2 back golds and 2 back stones. Let's see if Jon Snow has scouted this. And he has, being the experienced arena player that he is. So good advantage for Jon Snow. Dracant, he's going to have his gold forward, and it looks like extra gold forward as well. So Jon Snow, he's got a little bit of a better map here, I think. Unfortunately, not a lot of room for him to boom up on. That's kind of one of the things you look on in an arena map. Anyway, we're going to see 2 on gold for Jon Snow. He's placing his farms in the back. I wonder why that is. The farms are actually a little bit less efficient in the back. But yeah, I wonder what the reason for that is. Thanks for Please Be Gentle for hosting the stream with 3 followers. So not much else to say here. I wonder what kind of build they're going to go for. Britons, they get a great boom. You're definitely going to want to go into that boom as early as you can. Cheaper town centers and such. They also get great archers. So we could see them go for an archer rush. Most likely won't see a monk rush, which is going to be a little bit different from most arena civs. At least the ones that get redemption anyway. So Jon Snow could either be an archer build here or a boom build. From Dracant, I could say about the same thing. He's got about 3 in gold here. And both are up on 25 vills right now. So Dracant, it looks like he's going to go for the archery range build. Great for establishing map control. He'll get the extra range straight off the bat. I don't think monks will be that much of a threat to him. It depends on the micro, of course. But this is going to take a little bit more economy out of him and might delay him a little later on if Jon Snow decides to go for a straight boom. We'll see how it pays off. Jon Snow looks like he's actually going to go for that boom. 2 villagers forward, they're going to be up at around the same time. No significant difference here. Here's the archer range. And we're going to see market and blacksmith from Jon Snow. I got 32 viewers on here. I'm sure it's going to keep going up. I probably killed everyone's ears with my microphone. The thing with that is I had my my webcam plugged in, and that has a microphone in its own, but it's like a really shitty mic. So for whatever reason, it changed to that for some reason. I have no idea why. But anyway, that's in the past. Scouts are going to move out here. Jon Snow only seating up some farms right now. It looks like Dracant has had a little bit more food. I see 1, 2, 3, 4 deers. Only had to seed 3 farms. Has a sheep here as well. So Dracant, I think, has a little bit managed his economy just a little bit better here. It's of course better to seed the farms once you have horse collar. And we're going to see a few archers from Dracant. So Jon Snow is only going to be scouting the base here. I wonder... No, it looks like he hasn't seen the archer range. Look at this! Basically, this part of the archer range is definitely out of the fog of war, but that part doesn't count. So great archer range position here. Jon Snow shouldn't know what's coming. And it's so important on Arena to keep your intentions hidden. Oftentimes it can just digress into a rock, paper, scissors matchup.
Yay.
Yeah, that's correct. The farms are a little more fractive to the right. They actually only take from, I think, the bottom left corner here of the farm. which is why. Sometimes you like to seed them in the opposite direction of your opponent, though, but I don't think that's the case on Arena. So both players up to the next age. What is Draxien going to do? He's going to go for a Monastery. He's going to try to take map control here. Where is his archers? He's got 5 right here. Already with the +1 range. And we have a little bit of a scout fight. If I was Draxien, I would just play it safe and run back, let the archers get a free hit here. That's exactly what he's going to do. Going to turn around at the last second. And Jon Snow's looking, so he's going to get able to get a scout away. Jon Snow has also gone for the Monastery. We'll see how effective his monks will be. I think Jon Snow, where's his first relic? His first relic, he's guaranteed at least 1 inside his base. This one, not really guaranteed. That's going to be a little hard to get. And it looks like Jon Snow's up to 3 town centers here. Britain's cheaper town centers, of course. We look at the villager difference, though. It's only 1 villager difference, my bad. Let's look at the pop here. And wheelbarrow for both players right now, nice and early. Only 2 town centers for Draxien, so, no, 3, here it is. Able to afford it. Hopefully he can afford villagers from all 3. We'll have to see on the villager numbers here. Because obviously he can't invest as much into farms. Actually, Draxien not even getting the crossbow upgrade, and this is a good call from him. Again, just knowing what your opponent is doing. Jon Snow knows that Draxien is making archers, therefore Jon Snow is not going to invest so much into maybe some sort of army. Draxien feels like he can get his goal accomplished with just archers, and therefore he's not going to spend the resources in the crossbow. And that should help him keep producing villagers here. I think that's going to be a smart play by him. So what are we looking forward to a little bit later on? We'll probably see some capped rams. Probably go into Arbalest. I don't expect to see longbow and maybe some light cav a little bit later on. All about going to be about the Arbalest micro. And I think these monks are going to get some lucky conversions here. 2 conversions right off the bat. Wow, that's lucky. And he's even going to get the 3rd archer here. It's one of the beautiful things about monks. It's really could go either way. Games can be made or brought based off that monk randomness. I suppose it's a positive or a negative, depending how you look at it. Anyway, Draxien, let's see how many relics he's collected at this point. He's got 3 relics already. That's going to be a good boost to his economy. I think that's somewhere between 3 or 4 villagers, basically mining an infinite gold mine. So you can basically add 3 villagers to Draxien's number right here. Jon Snow, he's got his 1 relic. I think he just collected that relic. Where is his monk? No, I only see 1 relic. Oh, is that it? 3. This must be the last one. I don't know why it went this way. Looks like Draxien, he's gonna get the scout here. Come on, send this out. Send this out. Kill the man. 14 health left. He's gonna go under the gate. The gate's gonna close. Yeah. He gets away. Looks like his friend's not gonna be so lucky, though. And he's gonna go down in a single shot. Jon Snow also going to get a monk here. Looks like Jon Snow going to get 2 monks. I'm tripping over my words. And that's going to be the end of the scout. Or is it? No, he's going to get away. That's going to give him some valuable scouting information. It looks like Jon Snow winning these early engagements here. He's got 2 of these, two relics in the bank. He's going up with a castle. Garithia, I'm not even going to defend that. That's exactly what I said. I believe I have a quote already in the bank. I probably have a ton of quotes here of me missaying things. Get too excited. Anyway, Jon Snow, I wonder if he's going to make longbowmen here. I don't think there's much of a benefit of it. Let's turn this chat off. And look at this beautiful farming colony here. 3 mills. Probably more efficient for him to seed farms around the town center, but definitely doesn't look as good. Villager numbers now pretty even, and I would say they're about on even economy here. I did see Bowsaw for one of the players. I wonder if both players have it right now. And Jon Snow, he's going for a lot of stone here, so this is going to be something very different in strategies right now. Whereas Draxien, he's going just for a little bit of stone. He'll have enough stone for a castle when he clicks up. Is one relic worth 3 vills? No, I think a relic is worth slightly more than a vill. Collecting gold. I can't remember the exact rate though. Anyway, we'll see how the strategy pays off. He's going to have 2 castles here pretty soon. Going to click up to the next age pretty soon as well. We're going to see the same... the scout fight happened earlier in the game. It looks like now... Oh my god. Jon Snow won. I thought Draxien would win that. And that's pretty good for him. He's going to have scouting information now. And Draxien's going to be the first one to click up here. Draxien hasn't had to put all the stone into his castles earlier on. Looks like the archer play hasn't slowed down his economy that much. Remember him not investing in bodkin or fletching or crossbow. But he's going to have some way to take down these castles. I think, looks like Jon Snow is moving out to place a offensive castle. Could place a great castle here. Could take him off these 2 golds, but does he have the map control for that? No, he doesn't. I'm getting ahead of myself here. He's going to place a castle here, going to help defend this gold. He's making a few longbowmen here. I wonder if he's going to go heavily into it. So there it is, Giant Apple. 5 relics equals 6 gold miners. That sounds about right. Aztecs, of course, it'll be much more. So Imperial Age for both players here. Both of them investing heavily into the archer line. That's to be expected. I hope we see longbows in this game. One of the better looking units in the game, in my opinion. And I think that's what we're going to see. We haven't seen crossbow upgrade come in yet. I wonder what Jon Snow knows that I don't know, because usually longbow's not going to be the meta in a Britain's War, I feel. They are a little bit harder to mass. They do get 1 more range when they are upgraded to elite, though. So let's see how this plays out. Draxien, what kind of army is he going for? I don't see his army buildings really. Just 1 archery range. We see ballistics, padded armor coming in. Perhaps he's going for castles as well. He's mining stone pretty heavily. And he's going to be kicked off the stone. Unfortunately, this castle's not going to shield this stone. And as we said from earlier in the game, Draxien really doesn't have any resources in the back. He's not going to have access to more stone. Let's check how much he has in the bank. Has no stone in the bank. And this is going to be a huge problem for him if he's planning to go into longbowmen. I think he's starting to panic here. He's going to get up with 2 siege workshops, hopefully retake a stone here. And I think Jon Snow at this point has to be in the lead. Military right now 13-0. And all the upgrades for the archers coming in. Big one I'm looking for is the elite longbowman upgrade and the capped ram upgrade. Let's take a look at how their economies are doing. Pretty healthy economy for Jon Snow. He's up on 98 vills, and Draxien also 98 vills. With a pretty healthy economy as well. With all the extra range, still able to attack this stone mine here. I think Draxien should be taking more precautions in order to protect the stone mine. It's extremely valuable to him if he's going into longbowmen. He's even going to get a single converted here. So Draxien's going to lose a few villagers here. I think Draxien's okay with that as long as he clears out this army. Most of the villagers targeting, most of the army of Jon Snow targeting the villagers instead of the longbow. And here we're going to see him move out with some rams. We all know from Mayans Wars how important the rams can be. Difference between a Mayans War and a Britain's War, though, Mayans get siege rams and Britons do not. Well, I wonder how that will play a role here. Early yeoman from Jon Snow, it is quite an expensive upgrade. He's actually getting yeoman before elite longbowmen. I wonder why that is. He's got no resources for Elite Longbowmen at the time. And I think Elite Longbow would be a better upgrade here. I'm not oh, just as I say that, here comes Elite Longbowman. So my bad. Gonna be almost fully upgraded, just gonna miss a few of the armors. Elite Snipers. But we don't have nearly the same amount of mass of rams from Jon Snow. So we have now 5 rams, 6 rams from Drakant, and 5 rams from Jon Snow. Jon Snow's got 3 siege workshops in the forward position. Drakant's going to be going up to 4 siege workshops. And he's going to claim his resources on the front. So critical that Drakant doesn't lose a big fight here, because he needs to be able to secure these resources on the side. And, oh, such a smart raid by Jon Snow. Able to take out this gold, prevent Drakant from moving on this gold, and even take out some of this gold over here. Which is why Drakant's taking gold in the top side here. Ram battle's going to be critical. Going into Elite Skirmisher is Drakant. Skirmisher's, of course, a good counter to Longbow. Only problem is that Longbow has such an incredible range that perhaps can pick off Elite Skirmishers from a distance here. Forward Siege Workshop from Jon Snow. He's getting serious. He's getting serious and pushing this right side. I half agree with you, Whoop, that Elite Longbow might not be as good choice as Skirmisher or Crossbow, but I'm not exactly sure. Longbowmen do get more range. They do get more attack, and they're definitely cooler looking. So here's Elite Longbowmen and also Chemistry. Looks like Drakant has a lot more rams here. I think the Skirmisher mix is going to pay off here. He needs to make sure he's microing them. Skirmishers are within range of the longbow. Looks like Jon Snow not microing at all. All of his army going around at the side here, getting in range of the skirmishers. I think he's going to lose a lot here. All the colors are mixing together. And I'm pretty sure Drakant's going to win this. And Jon Snow, he's going to be forced to go into Onager here to help counter the rams. Longbowmen equals style points, absolutely. We talked about seeing Cataphract in the last game, and this is pretty much the same thing. You get style points. I love how the longbows stack on top of each other and just make that's like 4 bodies on top of each other. So offensive castle by Jon Snow. He doesn't have the army control here, and we're seeing how important the rams are in this Mines War. They're not siege rams, but they're still super important here, able to soak up 200 shots and take down the castles, which are going to be so critical for a player going into Longbowmen. Here comes the Onagers. They could be game changers here. We're going to have to see some excellent micro from Drakant to snipe down the Onagers. No siege engineers for these Onagers yet. And it looks like they're going to be pretty effective so far. They're going to be pretty good against rams, though. So you get a kind of a 2-for-1 there. Right now, about 600 score lead for Drakant. Villager difference the same. Much more army for Drakant. Although Jon Snow has upgraded the Onager. This ram is chasing down the Onager very slowly. It's the slowest chase in the world. And it looks like he's not going to get it. I wonder why the Onager stops every 3 seconds. And Jon Snow's going to miss a big shot right here. Does Longbow fire slower than ARPS? No, it does not. However, Longbow have a little bit less accuracy. And are more expensive to upgrade, I believe. Anyway, these are going to get cleaned up. Longbow are going to clean up the Onagers. And suddenly Jon Snow massing a lot more rams. We need to see more rams. More rams from Drakant. Just make only rams. And it's surprising me that Jon Snow hasn't invested in the Ring Archer armor. It's actually +2 pierced armor that they'll receive with that. So that can be very important. Yeoman now from Drakant. Yeoman actually does affect skirmishers for whatever reason. Huge ram fight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9. So Dracon's definitely going to win this. He might have a few injured here, though. But he's definitely going to win this. 3 more coming in the back. More coming in at the sides. And what does Jon Snow have going for him right now? He's taking some gold at the side. He does have all these extra resources in the back. And I think Jon Snow has more access to resources in general. Dracon's done a great job taking these golds at the side. Are there any other resources he can take control of? No, but I think this is going to even out. Big ram train for Drakon. This is going to be extremely tough to stop. We're going to have to see if maybe a few onagers here to help defend the rams. Keep the onagers in the back. I'm going to count the resources here. We have 1 gold mine, 2 gold mines, 3 gold mines, 4, 5 gold mines for Drakon. 1, let's see, 2. There was a third one here, or here, I believe. 3, 4. So I think Drakon has access to more gold in this game as well. I think Elite Longbow is 85% accuracy, but I can't be sure. I remember seeing it in the Genie editor at some point. So I think the big key for Drakon, why he's been able to win so many of these engagements, is just having more rams. Onagers haven't helped out too much, getting sniped off by what little mass of longbows Drakon has had. He obviously has a huge mass at this point. And it looks like this castle is actually going to be safe for now. The longbow not able to snipe off these onagers quite yet. And this is going to be a huge waste of gold for Drakon. He's going to have to go back for now. Perhaps we could see a trebuchet. I think a trebuchet would be very useful for Drakon. Could see some huge onager shots. Come on, get a shot, get a shot. Shoot! And the villagers, what are the villagers doing? They're going to go for the castle. I think Drakon's actually throwing these away. He's close to the Popcat, although he's not quite there yet. Let's check his resources. Has pretty decent resources, so I wouldn't be surprised if he was throwing them away. Sneaky ram fight on the bottom here. I don't think he's going to be able to get the castle, though. Again, not siege rams. I haven't seen siege engineers come in. And this is also going to be a waste of stone from Jon Snow. One thing I have noticed this game, though, is Drakon has been very proactive in getting his HP and armor upgrades for the castles. He's got architecture and he's getting hoardings right now. And it's one of those neglected technologies that you really need if you're going to have to keep your castles up. Just that little extra HP can be make the difference between having a castle and not having a castle. Britain supremacy, no. Check out the bottom side here. Jon Snow, if he wants to win this game, he needs to limit Drakon's gold, and he's doing a great job here. Taking him off of this gold here. I think even if Drakon is taken off this gold, though, I think the gold's going to be just about even. We're seeing more and more archer ranges here. It looks like we won't see stables this game. And I pretty much guarantee you that Jon Snow is going to lose this castle here. Going to send a few rams forward, but it's just going to be a waste. And you can't lose castles at this stage of the game. Did he get sappers, though? Here's the first treb over here. I suppose the reason we haven't seen too many trebs is because rams obviously serve a dual purpose here, absorbing shots, taking out opponents' rams, as well as being the siege to take out buildings. Hard to say if this investment into Onager has paid off. They have done the damage and protected the previous castle from Jon Snow, which is still up over here. So I think this investment has paid off. But at the same time, Jon Snow not able to push. Just losing onagers just for a few longbow here. That's one of the hard things about going onagers in a Britain's War. It's just so much range from the longbowmen. 12 range versus the 8 range of the onagers. It looks like this trebuchet is going to go down. Castle stays up for Jon Snow. This is critical for him to stay in this game. Looks like Drakon, he's eating up all this gold over here. Let's check. He's got 600 gold right now. He's got 3 relics in the bank. He's retaking the gold. So important that he keeps this gold. It looks like Jon Snow even trying to lame it a little bit, maybe. So important he keeps that gold. Jon Snow on a similar gold, but he's only got 2 relics in the bank. And he's out of gold in the back. Looks like just 500 left. Oh! He's got a ton of gold on the side, though. Actually, this is pretty thin as well. So he's down to maybe 1,000 gold, and then he's stuck on relics. Siege Engineer is going to be very important technology for his onagers, and maybe somebody knows in the chat, maybe you know, Giant Apple, but does Siege Engineers give rams extra damage against other rams? Because I'm not quite sure. And I think Dracon's making a mistake here. He should invest heavily on this bottom side. He needs to keep this gold if he wants to keep his push going. Luckily, Dracon has been much more gold efficient this game, and he's able to supplement his army with elite skirmishers. I remember watching in Masters of Arabia 3, probably the best game of the series. It was MBL versus the Viper, where the Viper was just picking off onagers, and even though he lost all of his longbowmen to like a super mega onager shot, just because he was so efficient with the longbowmen, he won the gold game in the end, and eventually outlasted the Celts player. And that's kind of what Dracon is doing here with adding elite skirmishers. But he's going to lose his villages over here, and there's still quite a bit of gold on here, about maybe 12, 13, 1400. And Jon Snow finally does lose his castle here. So much archers, yeah! So much archers. That's what you see in a Britain's War. You know, if you like infantry, you watch the Goths. If you like Archer Wars, you get to watch the Britons. And these rams gonna move in. I would be... This skirmisher's on 1 HP. I'd laugh so hard if a ram got a kill on a skirmisher. Let's take a look at the army count again. Dracon, much more army. Much closer to the... actually, not a big difference as far as population. Jon Snow has plenty more vills here. And because of that, I'm going to take a look at the resources here. Looks like Jon Snow's cutting his resources pretty thin. Just has a little bit of surplus of wood, which is okay. And this is Dracon's resources. Pretty low on gold. So I don't exactly think this is a mistake from Jon Snow at having 120 villagers, but he wants to keep an eye on his resources, definitely. Especially as he's approaching 200 pop right here. This is the UK Civil War after Brexit, exactly. Pretty poor micro from Dracon. Gonna lose a few longbowmen here to skirmishers. Gold is getting tight in this game now. You definitely want to preserve your longbowmen. Trebuchet is gonna move right in under the archers. And the ram's gonna get two trebuchet kills here. That's a big waste. That's a huge waste. 400 gold. That's gonna take a while for the relics to get back in it. Draconi's got tons of rams though. Jon Snow is going to want to keep these siege workshops working. And the next target from Dracon is going to be the siege workshops, and then the castle, and then the soft underbelly of Jon Snow's eco. On this bottom side, sacrificing a lot of these guys to the elite skirmishers here. You can see 5+4 range now with the yeoman. He's going to sacrifice them, and this raid is definitely not going to pay off. Dracon's paying attention here. And this onager could potentially do quite a bit of damage onto these rams. Hey, what's up, Membrio? How's it going? And it looks like Dracon's going to be scared off for the time being, not time beating. Looks like these archers were cleared up. And Jon Snow's still on the gold here. I keep stressing this because it's so important. For players to take as much gold as they possibly can in this game. And after this game, I'm sure we'll take a look at the gold count. Looks like Jon Snow is pushing back. We could be in for a little bit of a long game here, potentially. All the golds have been eaten up. A lot of skirmishers now from Jon Snow. Where's his military count at? He's still a little bit behind, but he's definitely gotten back into this game. Jon Snow has more military. Let's take a look at the resources. I think Dracon's actually running a little bit low on resources here. Might want to add a few more villagers here. He's only on 75 villagers. Although, it's kind of hard for me to tell because I can't tell exactly how many resources he's spending as well. Jon Snow, plenty of resources in the bank, but not too much. And it's going to be so critical as well just to have that perfect amount of military to economy numbers. Looks like Dracon's going to win the Ram battle temporarily. How do you commentate this? It's just pure destruction here. It's like both sides have their bunker in World War I, and they're just going to be firing at each other. It's kind of like the old times, I suppose. You see like videos of the Revolutionary War where just the sides just fired at each other, didn't give a damn. What you can say though is Jon Snow definitely has a lot less longbowmen here, and they're definitely going to be the stronger unit. Maybe even want to pull back some of these longbowmen a little bit farther back here. No reason to have him in the front. Jon Snow, I love his attention to taking this gold. I'm going to keep hammering it over and over again. And Jon Snow's actually, he's going to go for the first raid of the game, I think. Dracon's been hammering away at this left side. It's pretty close to Jon Snow's economy, but Dracon hasn't been putting enough attention to this left side. Skirmishers just going to stroll in. These aren't your average feudal age skirmishers. These are post-imp skirmishers. Got 7 attack here. And they should be able to kill villagers pretty easy. And he's going to go out and go for a raid now. And as we said earlier, Dracon, I think his villager numbers are dangerously low here. 65 vills. 65 vills is dangerously low. And I know you want to have as much military as possible, but you're not at the pop cap, Dracon. You're only at 140 pop right now. How can you support 140 pop with 64 vills? And this might be what loses him in the game. Jon Snow now taking the score lead. Admittedly, I haven't checked the scores in a while. And it looks like Dracon going to be lame. Jon Snow going to be lame here and snipe off some of the farms. Jon Snow, he's got plenty of resources, can replenish the skirmishers. Big ram train coming at the top. This could be the final push. Dracon, he's so low in resources. Look at his food. How many skirmishers is that going to afford you? 0 food right now. How are you supposed to rebuild villages without food as well? And these longbowmen are going to be what has to clear out these skirmishers. Meanwhile, at the top side, 4 rams. We haven't seen any onagers from Dracon, so these rams are going to be pretty hard to handle. Come on, the rams! Rams, go into the castle! Don't attack the archery ranges. Looks like Dracon has enough rams for now. And Jon Snow, you need to keep pressuring this side. You need to add more siege on this side. Use the market. Speaking of which, I wonder what the market price is. Market prices are absolutely horrid at this point. And just not enough rams from Jon Snow. I think gold advantage this game has gone to Jon Snow. So that is perhaps why, has gone to Dracon, my apologies. Which is why perhaps he has more siege rams still at this point. But Jon Snow, this is your time to strike right now. Scale Barding armor coming in from Jon Snow could be the killing blow. Pretty good idea at this point, considering that no more longbowmen are going to be on the field. Most of the gold getting poured into, going to be getting poured into rams, I assume. Anyway, Skirmisher's still doing damage here. I wonder how many kills these guys got. I wish we could see the kill statistics on individual units. And I think this switch to light cavalry is really going to pay off for Jon Snow. Jon Snow, he's been on a good amount of economy this whole time. Should be able to afford light cavalry spamming. On 100 vills. Dracon only on 70 vills right now. Still, look how much gold is left on this mine. Just about maybe 600-700 gold left. And that could be critical if Dracon wants to stabilize this game, be able to get up to the sufficient villager numbers he needs, and perhaps push this back. Military numbers now, though. Jon Snow has the military lead. He's not going to be able to do too much with that, though, if he's not able to raid or able to take out buildings with siege. And I only see 1 ram for him right now. A trebuchet would be so beneficial at this point. And oh my god, the light cav could absolutely wreck these rams right now. Such a close game. I thought Dracon had this game a little bit earlier on. I was clearly wrong. And now here comes the light cav spam. +2 armor. We need to see plate barding armor. It makes such a huge difference here. And there's plate barding armor. He's going to wait for that upgrade. Big massive rams from Draxien. I wonder if he's going to push out right now. The thing is, there's so many buildings between this and this castle as well. And Draxien, he's going to take back his 3 relics now. Here comes a few light cav. Jon Snow is showing his hand right now. I wonder if we'll see a unit response from Draxien, or he thinks he can get away with skirmishers and a few elite longbowmen. So plate barding armor now done. Husbandry coming in. More archer ranges, more stables coming up. I think Jon Snow's going to take this game. Draxien's actually in the score lead. Looking at the KD, just about even right now. Still more villagers for Jon Snow. Military just about even. Although Draxien does have a good massive rams here. Most of them on pretty high health. And light cavalry rating, gold's gone at this point. And Draxien just trying to quick wall this in. It's not going to be fast enough though. These light cavalry are going to be able to do some damage here. And it looks like Draxien has about 1,000 food stockpiled. So we'll see how much damage this does and how it'll affect his resources. Jon Snow now massing rams. I think he's going to go for the final push here. Longbowmen are distracted in the back of the base over here, trying to defend from the light cav rating. More longbowmen going in the back here. And I think Jon Snow should go in for the kill here. Come on, send the rams forward. Krokot. And we're having just a little bit of peace before the action. And finally, here's going to be the no. Okay, here we go. Here's going to be the ram train from Jon Snow. Woo woo. No, that's the wolf. That's not the ram train. Light cav just going to dance around a little bit here. And I think this is going to be the push that ends the game. Draxien's still in the score lead, though. Rams are going to come in, try to defend this. Light cavalry are going to get between the rams, and this is so important. Rams not going to be able to take out the rams of Jon Snow. Still a few longbowmen in here. They're able to do significant damage against the light cav. Let's see how many rams we have here. Still a sizable portion for Draxien. This first castle is going to go down. Can Jon Snow stabilize and save his second castle? Skirmishers moving in. Nothing to battle the rams of, nothing to battle the light cav of Draxien. I wonder if we're going to see a halberdier here. Probably not, considering how strong the skirmishers are. And I can't exactly tell what, looks like Jon Snow, he's going to take the castle and he's going to get out of there. So I think that's going to be a win from Jon Snow. He needs to make sure, though, this is a lot of rams from Draxien. He needs to make sure he doesn't experience a counter push here. Draxien, he's still got these super strong elite longbowmen. Big massive rams here. And is Draxien going to go in for the push now? It'll be even beneficial for Jon Snow to try to push on this bottom side. I think the raiding he's done has been super effective to this point. The calm before the storm. I get all my phrases mixed up sometimes when I'm casting. That's what it's called. Longbowmen gonna be do a ton of damage here. 7 attack. These aren't your regular arbalest here. And this is a win for Jon Snow, I think, if he doesn't experience a pushback. Let's take a look at the castle count right now. Jon Snow up 1 castle. Most of them on this bottom side, not doing too much for him, but doesn't really matter too much, I suppose, because Jon Snow hasn't been raided this game. And more stables coming out the bottom. This is really smart from Jon Snow, I think. Should go straight for this monastery, even take out the relics. And I keep asking myself, why doesn't Draxien try to clean this up a little bit more? So he can protect his relic, protect his economy from getting raided. Draxien slowly pushing forward. He's pushing forward with a few stables. This is going to be a big waste of wood for Jon Snow. Let's take a look at his resources. He can afford more siege workshops though. He just needs to remember to build them. Actually, it doesn't even matter because how much can he afford with 100 gold? But just defending right now. Do you like Cav? Key for both players right now, stay at 200 population. Jon Snow is still more population. I assume a sizable portion is going to be on this bottom side here. And Skirmisher's only able to do one attack here, but these light cav, they don't have bloodlines. They're not Hussar. They don't have all the attack upgrades as well. So imagine if these were Hun's Hussar, 95 hit points. Big difference between 60 and 95. And the Skirmishers will have one extra range. So as far as the trash battle goes, the Skirmisher is going to be the most dominant unit here. It's good to know, Wiki. Sometimes I start slurring two words together. I think it's a pretty good game we got here too. It could have gone either way at both points here. And Jon Snow should try to pick off as many of these longbowmen as possible here, I think. The reason this game is going so long, though, is because players really can't afford Siege to close this out. We haven't seen that one big raid from Jon Snow. We saw a big raid earlier, but we haven't seen the killing blow from him. Draxien being able to defend. Basically, so far what's happened in the last basically 30 minutes is a few attempts at raiding by Jon Snow. Armies going back and forth. And I think the big thing that came out of this was just Draxien losing his first castle. But other than that, you take a look at map control here. I think Jon Snow has a better position, still able to raid at this bottom side. Looks like this monastery did get taken down. Definitely don't want that. And I don't think Jon Snow... It's hard to say if he has as much to lose on this top side. Tons of light cav here. That's so many light cav. Able to take out so many skirmishers. Light cav are going to come in the bottom here. I think Jon Snow is going to be alright after losing quite a few skirmishers here. I've never seen an arena game run out of wood, and I don't want to see one right now. And you can see here, basically it takes 2 volleys from this huge elite skirmisher mass to take out a light cav. Blast Furnace, big upgrade. +2 attack for light cav. I think that's really a huge upgrade at this stage of the game. I assume Jon Snow not getting it because of the gold cost associated with it, but it's going to be a huge upgrade here. Essentially going from 8 attack to 10 attack, that's what, a 20% increase? You factor in the armor, that could be even a bigger increase. Are you serious, Metal RTS? There was a 6-hour arena game. That would have been good for Nilly's. If Nilly wanted to do a 48-hour stream, that would be a good game for him to watch. Lightcav being pretty effective here. Of course, now with Blast Furnace, able to do quite a bit more damage here. Gonna pick up a lot of skirmishes. Let's check the army count right now. Military, more for Jon Snow still, but it's evening up here. And I think it'll go into the favor of Draxien. Gonna back away as these skirmishers get more clumped up and under the castle. And Draxien doing a great job conserving his longbowmen. Absolutely can't lose these no matter what. Just a little bit of raiding from Jon Snow. Villager numbers pretty much even. 20 more for Jon Snow. I don't know how much that matters. Probably does matter though, because Jon Snow only on 160 population here. Draxien only on 130. Perhaps you know better than I would, Metal RTS, but I get the feeling that Draxien hasn't made enough villagers this game. Although maybe I'm mistaken. Anyway, Jon Snow looks like he's stabilized here. What we need to see is a big, massive Rams or a, I think a Trebuchet would do so much here for Dracant. There's a Trebuchet in this general area. He's already got his army in this area to take out the castle. This castle's pretty exposed as well. Jon Snow's castle's pretty safe on the bottom side here. And his castle's safe on the left side. Dracani looks like he's putting much heavier emphasis into light cav, and I think it's paid off quite well from him. We haven't seen either player switch into Halbs yet. You do have to spend quite a bit of gold on Halbs. The elite skirmishers for the Britons are quite strong. And really, if you think about it, you have to get the pikeman upgrade. It's going to be 90 gold, which isn't that much. The Halb upgrade, I think, is 300 gold, or maybe it was 600 gold. I can't remember. It was one of those. We have a little bit of pause here. And then you have to get all the infantry armor upgrades, and that'll just be even more gold. So that's probably why we haven't seen Halbs yet. Jon Snow, very low resources. 95 vills now. I wonder if that's because I haven't seen him get raided, really. Maybe he's been deleting villagers? I'm not exactly sure. He was up at 120 villagers earlier in the game. Dracant has more resources, actually. Even though he has lower pop, you should really be spending these resources. And I would love to see the kill count on these longbowmen. They must have at least, I don't know, 20 kills each? 20, 30 kills each? And Jon Snow's going to make an attempt at this castle, but he's going to lose out pretty big. Keep in mind, every bit of gold that they lose, each of these siege rams, all the gold that's coming in right now is either coming from the market or from the relics. So going to be essentially much more expensive. Would love to see relic gold in this in the thing. Let's go ahead and show you that. So right now it looks like stabilizing the game. Let me just check the game, make sure I'm not missing anything big. Dracant's going to defend over here, and Dracant doesn't have any siege to push this back, so we're just going to see some more attacks here. So let's take a look over here. Where do we put Relic Gold? Relic Gold is a little bit more from Dracant. He does have 3 relics of 2, although his relics have been taken out of the monastery just a little bit. Total gold, I'm not exactly sure. I don't think I can see total gold here. Much more idle time for Dracant, which is not surprising considering how much more he's been raided. I'm pretty sure in this game though, Dracant has had more gold, has had access to more golds. But we'll check that at the end. Kill death statistics, Dracant with much more kills. Not surprising at all. His light cav transition has paid off quite well, and these longbowmen have been just racking up the kills. Safety, what in the world is safety? I have no idea. And cavalry count's just about the same here. Any other map control? I think this statistic's wrong. But no other interesting statistics here. Castle, is it deployed onto the... No, it's not. Trebuchet is not deployed on the castle. I think this could be his opportunity to do so, though. Protecting on the bottom side. Gonna be so difficult to attack these longbowmen. And this castle should just deploy onto the castle here. I think this is Dracant's game to win. All he needs to do, he needs to take out the castle, send his longbowmen in, start killing villagers, kill all these villagers over here, and he should win the game. I think I would be super safe, though, and make sure to keep these longbowmen alive. Trebuchet is going down to elite skirmishers, though. Here comes some more light cav. Relic count right now is 3 to Dracant and 2 to Jon Snow. And Dracant, I think, has had access to more gold mines this game as well. Wouldn't it be safe to spam buildings? I was kind of thinking that myself, like spam buildings in front of the castle so the rams couldn't get there. Also very important to have quick military. Like the military doesn't have to run a lot. The thing is, the trebuchet is going to be the big thing here, I think. And you don't want to waste resources no matter what stage of the game you're at. Like Cav, I don't think they care too much that they're not doing too much damage. They just want to be able to protect the Treb. Castle will go down from Jon Snow. We're going to even up on the castle. But again, these 3 castles from Jon Snow, not protecting the economy of Jon Snow. And that could be his big weakness here. It's not enough light Cav from Jon Snow. And these skirmishers are going to get absolutely eaten by these light Cav. Desperate attempt at Rams to take out the trebuchet is going to fail, and there's the GG here. That was an excellent game. Went back and forth. We saw different opening strategies. We saw a little bit different unit composition. Drakant going into skirmishers a lot earlier on. Back and forth, tons of military units going down. Over 2,000 kills in this game. A lot of raiding from Jon Snow. Both players choosing a different balance between economy and military. And Drakant, I think the biggest play of the game, switching into... Actually, I think Jon Snow switched into Light Cav earlier, but Light Cav really being effective here once they're able to whittle down the skirmisher numbers. And especially the longbowmen numbers. And these longbowmen have to be the MVP of this game. I can't imagine how many kills these longbowmen have got in this game. Must be huge. Anyway, great game. Let's take a look at the achievements. You guys are going to kill me if I don't hit the achievements. Score lead, blah, blah, blah. More units killed from Drakant. It's not surprising at all. He had those longbowmen there doing all that damage. Better economy from Jon Snow. Again, not surprising at all. He had much more villagers this entire game. Didn't seem to matter, though. I think Drakant could have used more villagers in this game, although I'm not 100% sure. Not a big deal. I liked I think Drakant invested in those HP upgrades for the castles. Here's a big one. Jon Snow actually had more gold collected this game, so I was wrong in that regard. Jon Snow had access to more golds, so I was wrong in that regard. Must have had an extra gold mine. Relic gold, just a little bit more from Drakant. Doesn't really mitigate the fact that Jon Snow had more gold mines, though. That's just due to map positioning. And you can see the little ups and downs, the dips and troughs of such a great game. So let's see if these guys will play another. I'm glad I got my mic fixed. That would have been such a shame if nobody was here to cast that game. Ha ha, nobody. That was unintentional. And it looks like these guys are done. I see who do I see in the lobby? Nobody of exceptional skill. And I'm going to check if there's another game here to cast. Oh. I should really get my name changed at one point. I think it's a little too late now. So I'm going to check around for another game, see if there's another game here. So it looks like we don't have another game. I think I'm going to close up this stream. Thanks to all of you for being here. Was a little bit. I would normally cast a little bit longer, but it's a little bit unexpected for me to be here. A little unexpected. I didn't expect to be here in the first place. But anyway, let's look a little bit forward to what we're having a little bit later on in the week. We of course have the big Clan Masters finals, the $30,000 tournament on Saturday. That's going to be at 10 GMT, a little bit early for me. But I will be able to catch the uploads. So 10 GMT, we're going to have Sai versus Tyrant. And then on Sunday, we're going to have the Mini Cup, 1v1 Mini Cup. And that's just going to be going on throughout the whole day. Casted here, of course, on Voobly Official. That's going to start at 2 GMT and go all the way till, looks like about 11, 12 GMT. And that's going to be pretty fun. It looks like Mem's casting that as well. And we're gonna have more Masters Arena games coming in later on the week. Hopefully, we'll have someone to stream that. If not, we'll do a rec stream. A little later on in the week, perhaps next week, I'm probably going to be doing some Brothers in Arms games, casting a bit of that tournament. That's a 2v2 co-op tournament. If you're not familiar with that, unfortunately, I haven't gotten a lot of coverage of that tournament, but we're going to get to work on that. I'm going to get to work on that anyway. And other than that, we have just a bunch of other tournaments going around. I believe Robo posts on Reddit every Monday or so a tournament roundup of just all the different things we're going on. And pretty soon we're going to have the Green Arabia tournament start up. And Carlos Ferdinand's going to do his Balance Patch tournament in January going into March. It's going to be a round-robin tournament. So I'm very excited about that. The Balance Patch tournaments by him were some of my favorite tournaments. Definitely going to try to cover as much of that as possible. So a lot of things to look forward to in the Age of Empires community. I'm going to be uploading this game to my YouTube channel. I'll put that in the link in the chat. So that'll be uploaded. I assume SMB or Pumuckl is going to upload this to the Voobly official channel, but they've got plenty of other things to upload as well. So I'll upload this game instantly, and I'll see you guys next time.